Hey y'all. So let's talk about this nodal shift and what it's about. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and of course we were talking about the California fires. And I already mentioned that California is a two of diamonds, which also makes it a six of clubs, which is the messenger, right? So that's why Hollywood was established there, and it does what it does, right? Hollywood is a messenger, and it distributes messages throughout the whole planet. These are messengers. So the other day, someone had shared Kim Kardashian, and she was talking about her experiences with fires that brought her to the final experience that you can't take it with you kind of thing, right? Five of Hearts and the lessons that she learned, right? And I found it really poignant that everything that I said the other day, I said that these people were going to become coming into their full place of being a messenger, and they put up a message from Kim Kardashian, right? And even though it was an old message, it still confirmed what I said. So now we come to the tough time of having to really get in alignment with our destinies. This is where we are. And the United States is displacing what this year? The Six of Spades, which is the card of destiny. So each and every one of you now are being called to get in alignment with your destiny, like the things you really came here to do. There's no getting out of it. There's no getting out of what you're here to do and the work that you're here to do, what you're being called to do, because it's super important that you do that work now. It's going to be super important that you do the work that you came here to do. You know what I mean? So, interestingly, the United States Environment card, or what we call the solar return card, is the Two of Spades, which is tomorrow. And that is the day that the nodes change officially, is tomorrow. So that is the card of this nodal, shift, is the Two of Spades. And it's also the North Node in Pisces. So what is this about? What is the North Node in Pisces about? Pisces is about this. Pisces and Neptune together are about breaking down boundaries. That's what they're about, right? They're about taking that spiritual journey, right? Because what the spirit can do is the spirit can move through solid things. The spirit can move through walls, right? There are no boundaries. There are no walls here. This is just pure movement, pure spirit here. And the North Node in Pisces is about breaking down walls, right? So ironically, we're in the middle of all this warfare, all this, this side versus this side and all of that. And all of this is heating up because these walls are going to be eventually dissolved, right? So the Two of Spades is about breaking down walls. The Two of Spades is a card of brotherly love, or what we know as friendship. It's a card of working together. And oftentimes it involves you having to work with someone that you got a problem with. You don't totally like this person. Maybe there's something you don't like about them. You're picky, because that's what Virgo is, right? So we have the South Node in Virgo, and that is your pickiness. That is the things that are keeping you from getting with your tribe, getting with someone that you could have a long-lasting relationship with. It's the pickiness, the hypercriticism, the Virgo aspect, right? But you're being moved to move towards the North Node in Pisces. So that means not giving a damn about those picky little things that you're picking apart, and that's keeping you from coming together with the people you were destined to come together with at this time. These people are imperfect. All people are imperfect. And a lot of you refuse to open up and love the imperfections and accept the imperfections. You either want someone to be perfect, or you envision them as perfect, or you won't tolerate anything but perfection. And therefore, that is why you are in the situation that you're in right now. So, needless to say, you're going to learn. You're going to learn to burn. And I'm not saying this for the California people, excuse the pun, but I'm saying this for humanity in general. That's what I'm saying it for. Humanity in general. We all suffer from some degree of perfectionism in an area of our life. And it is through the liberation of that, or the liberation from that perfectionism. Perfectionism, mind you, by the way, is good for certain things. It's good for scientific study and research. If you're not a scientist and you're not studying things for research and you're not creating cures and all this other stuff, then you're misapplying your perfectionism. You're applying perfectionism where it does not belong. Perfectionism belongs in mathematics, exactly, collecting data, things like that, critical jobs that have to be done, which is why Virgo and the sixth house are associated with jobs. These are critical jobs that have to be done, that take some degree of being able to hone in and distinguish between things. But we oftentimes apply these things to relationships out of fear. And we apply it to love, and we apply it to our children, and all of these other places where these perfectionistic tendencies don't belong. So this nodal shift, combined with the movement of Uranus in Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so we're talking about the mind. So there's going to be a disruption in the mind. There's going to be change and shocks and shaking you out of your mind, right? Exposing you to the unbelievable so that you get out of this prison that you created for yourself that keeps you from your soul family. That keeps you from your soul family. And not to mention, we have Pluto in Aquarius, right? Which is another aspect of it. So we have so many revolutionary transits going on right now that are designed to ascend you, to bring you out of where your forefathers have been forever. Forever. So this North Node in Pisces is going to bring you friends, people to build with, people you're going to build this new world with, people you might not even like, but you're still going to build this new world with. It's going to bring you with your soul family, your soul tribes. It's going to snatch you from where you are. You're going to have such a longing to be somewhere. And that somewhere is going to be with the people that you are on your next assignment with. And some of y'all can relate very good to this, especially people with strong Pisces placements. And even people with Virgo placements, because deep down you yearn to be able to belong. You yearn to be amongst community as well. So you are going to be, so if you're very Piscean, if you're very Jupiterian, even, then this is going to feel very familiar to you. And you're not going to be an outsider. You're going to be a leader. So this is very, 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 very woo-woo. So celebrate. However, Pisces deals with suffering. The 12th house deals with suffering. Who's suffering? The people who can't let go. The people who are in prisons of their own making. The people who are afraid to take leaps of faith. the people who are disconnected from their inner self. This could be a painful time. If you're attached to anything, this could be a painful time, especially material possessions, because you got to travel light. You can't bring these things with you. You got to be willing to get up and go. You got to be willing to show up. That means that you may not show up in your best clothes. You might show up in your yesterday's clothes. But you're going to show up. And guess what? You're going to find that people are going to love you in yesterday's clothes. They're going to love you in last week's clothes. They're going to love you anyway. So celebrate, because this is what you've been asking for. You've been asking for love. And this is love.